Sit back, strap in, and get ready for After Hours with TC Restani. This is Abigail Harwich, executive producer, welcoming you to the show. And now, TC Restani!
Alrighty there, welcome to the Big Time Show, the After Hours of TC Restani, the podcast. I'm TC Restani, emanating from the palatial podcast penthouse, and we're going to go around the horn and introduce my esteemed panel. Starting right here, the milkman himself, the one, the only, the infamous Quincy Briscoe.
And how you doing tonight?
Doing fantastic. What kind of milk is that, Quince?
I had that milk. This is water now to lubricate the vocals.
Okay, all right. You're getting a little healthy with the water down there. Someone who isn't caring about his diet tonight, the greatest celebrity stalker of all time, South Boston Jeff. You raided Willy Wonka's cabinet. What's going on down there, Jeff?
Well, yeah, just keeping it real. A few munchies going on, but good to be here. Feeling great.
Well, what kind of munchies you got down there? This is radio, remember?
Well, I just like candy bowl, and I get some cheese and crackers and everything. And to tell you the truth, I just ate my very first Mounds bar. I never had one before.
And how is it?
Flagrant false advertising.
You don't like the Mounds bar?
Well, it's fragrant false advertising because in the commercial they say sometimes Almond Joy's got nuts, Mounds don't. Well, it's filled with coconut.
Well, we'll have to talk about that.
Well, that coconut is a nut, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't call it a coconut.
You got me on that one.
It is. And of course, my mentor and the host of Ricky Bittman's Jukebox exclusively on Spotify, Mr. Ricky Bittman.
Up and away, hey.
Up and away, hey.
I like those little cheese and crackers packets.
Yeah, those.
Oh, yeah. That takes you back to your elementary school days, doesn't it?
Your lunchbox.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like hot food, and there's a company out there called Lance's that makes variations on those, and one of them, the cheese, is buffalo wing spiced cheese.
Is it kind of like what Abby made?
Exactly. Probably even hotter, because I remember eating one time, my head broke out in a sweat.
No
I
one's
didn't have the
hotter than
cool skip.
Abby.
Well, no, that's true.
Or her dip.
That's true. But that bring me back.
Jeff, open up the container next to the microphone. Let's hear some little ACRM or whatever that's called.
Like cheese and crackers. It takes. Oh yeah, my first grade, second grade teacher would give me a check on the snack board for the healthy snack.
Very nice.
Because,
what was her name?
Her name was Mrs. Griffin.
Isn't that funny how you remember those names?
You mean Peter Griffin's mother?
I was wondering where that came from. That sound.
It's either that or a bee came in the room.
I remember my kindergarten teacher, Miss Mercurio.
Is that something you put on cuts?
Yeah, Miss Mercurio. She was Italian, very pleasant lady. I remember all my teachers' names all the way up through the 8th grade.
My kindergarten teacher's name was Miss Birnbaum.
Birnbaum?
Birnbaum.
Lost Griffiths.
What's the funniest name teacher you had? Was probably
Griffin,
her, huh? Let me think if I had a funny teacher. I think we had an art teacher named Miss Silvani, and she had a paralyzed lisp.
Okay, when I was in the 7th grade, this is junior high for the first time. You have all different teachers because you have, a history teacher, math teacher.
Yeah.
So my math teacher's name was Miss Waste. Someone told me that her first name was Ima.
I'm a waste.
It wasn't. I forgot what her real first name was. But it was just basically, you got Miss Waste? Yeah, her first name's Ima.
Ima.
And she likes that. She can say Miss Ima Waste.
I'm a waste.
And of course, stupid me.
You did it?
I did it. And she's like, you're new, aren't you? For 7th graders. My name is not Ima, it's Joan or whatever it was.
We had a teacher, Sister Ida, and she was a nun, of course. And when she was introducing on the night, the parents came ahead of time to do the, what do they call that? I don't know. The parents had to meet before the kids got to school and everything. And she says, I'm Sister Ida. As your son progresses through the school, you will find that my name is, I'm fondly referred to as Ida the Spider.
I was going to say, or Ida, the French fry.
She was a very lovely woman.
I'm sure she was. She was a nun, right?
She was.
Well, my grandmother's name was Ida. My grandmother was an Ida.
It's a good name, Ida. You don't
It
need
is.
too many Idas.
In movies, there's a few Idas. Ever see Motel Hell?
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah, the farmer Vincent
That's
and his
right.
evil sister Ida.
Ida.
And there was of course if you're a John Waters fan, you remember Aunt Ida.
Aunt Ida.
Ooh, yeah, ooh.
I'm out to get the auto industry.
But it's a pretty strong name.
I was watching a little. This is so weird. I was watching a little Pink Flamingos before I came down here tonight.
Really?
That's strange.
It was on TCM a few weeks ago, and I DVR'd it, even though I have the DVD. And I watched the first maybe 10 minutes of it. What a great
Oh, yeah. It's such good stuff. I mean, I got into John Waters way before I should have. I started watching his movies when I was like 15.
Same here, brother.
I saw my first one was Desperate Living.
Oh, my God.
And I'll have you know
that was a lesbian melodrama about revolution. That's how he described it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll have
TC's
you know
like,
that.
This really took a turn.
And
Well, he's never seen one of them. He's never seen
and there's
any
a reason
John
for that.
Waters.
No, you have to see.
Well, I got that autograph for what's her name?
Mink Stole.
Mink Stole.
Oh, it's one of my prized possessions. We have to come down here some night and watch Female Trouble together.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
Sure.
I have it on DVD.
I have all the guys' work.
There you go. I mean, I'm telling you, but Female Trouble is his Citizen Kane.
Was that just a comedy movie?
Yes, it's one of the funniest movies you'll ever see. Trust me on that.
Sounds good.
It does sound good. Now, speaking of something that sounds good, was Ricky Bittman gave $2
Yep.
to Quincy Briscoe to go next door to get a lottery ticket. The Powerball, which is a national game. It's not a Massachusetts game. And tonight it's something ridiculous like $750 million.
It's probably close to 800 now.
800 million. So after taxes, you're talking $400 million, which isn't chump change.
No.
Now, you, being the generous man that you are, gave the $2 to Quincy to go next door.
Yep.
And if we win, you're going to split it four ways.
This is the after hours Powerball ticket. Okay? Now, the reason I did this, because I said just things are sort of falling into place. It just had a lucky feeling. I said, if Quincy goes and picks it up, that makes it even luckier. So you guys don't have to do anything. You're in on this. So I'm going to read the numbers now.
All right.
This will be a binding contract legally. I
All right, this is on the air right now. We have witnesses worldwide.
I can't skip town on this. So if this comes through, however we redeem this, it's all four of us got to go in. Okay. Here's our numbers. The Powerball number we got is 25.
25.
Our numbers are 29, 30, 52, 54, and 66. Okay? Now we have a record of those numbers. If those numbers come out tonight, Southie Jeff, Quincy Briscoe, T.C. Restani, and Ricky Bittman are the owners of the 725 to 800 million jackpot.
Execute order 66.
Now, I will hold the ticket.
You can hold the ticket.
But
we know where you live.
That's right. And like I said, you have evidence now.
We have the evidence. Put the evidence in the car. Put the evidence.
Evidence in the car. I'm gonna barbecue you on some molasses.
Now, that being said,
Now, that being said, if we did win the $700 and something million, what are you going to do at your percentage?
well, I'd never do a hard day's work again. I would never.
Have you ever done a hard day's work, Ricky
Well,
Bittman?
you know, some days are harder than others.
Some of the stage shows I've seen, I give you credit.
But I wouldn't have to do that anymore. And I would buy. I'd buy a couple of homes. I would buy a home down south.
We're down south.
I like Florida, you know me, but I wouldn't go down this time of year.
No.
I would go down in the winter. I would, like I said, I would never see snow. I would just, unless I wanted to.
What about climate change? It could snow again in Florida.
Oh, jeez. Well, I'll be dead by the time that happens.
With $750 million,
I could buy my way out of anything.
you can get rid of climate change.
I mean, I wouldn't go out and I would just buy very modest houses. I'm not a car guy. I would keep my my Winnie Bagel.
Of course.
And the Bitmobile. You know, I wouldn't go anything extravagant there. I'd get a home theater for myself.
Yep.
I'd get something I could pour draft beer in my house. That would but definitely be something I would invest
You
in.
can invest in your own brewery in your house, for Christ's
Yeah, I
sake.
wouldn't. I just want good cheap beer that I can enjoy,
All right.
and I would have a huge party for all my friends, and I would invite some singers: Dennis O'Gorman, my Irish
Of course.
friend, Lefty Ferguson from down in Tennessee, Tommy Treadway from down in Florida. I'd have all these guys come up and do a big show for everybody, and then I'd probably hire a Cheap Trick to close out the night.
I want you to want me.
Yeah, you can't forget the magic and charisma of Robin Zander.
Yeah.
The
that's
Dream Police. Da, 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 da,
I'm
da,
telling
da, da.
you. So, I mean, but I wouldn't go crazy. I wouldn't like go out to Florida, to California or anything like that.
California.
I would not go overseas because you get kidnapped. I stay right in the good old United States of America.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
There you go.
And I'd give some money to my pal Johnny Maffioli.
Good for him.
I would.
Yeah.
I'd take care of him.
So, Johnny, if you listen out there, you may be getting a phone call later.
Yeah, you're in on it. You and Chrissy.
What about you, Jeff? What would you do with your $100 million?
I would like he said. I would not only would I buy a home, I would try to find myself a castle or a chateau or something big and glorious and like not around here. So I would have my home over here and my castle over somewhere in England or Scotland.
Ride a bike around the house.
What's a chateau?
Yeah. What's a chateau?
Is it a type of house or?
Yeah, it's it's kind of like the very old stone structures. They used to build. Some of them were wineries. Some of them are houses for the elite. But they're very fancy stone
Isn't
houses.
chateau French?
It sounds
is.
like a French word.
Chateau.
Chateau is a hat.
It used to be a
And,
restaurant on
you know.
93.
There is a chateau still in Woburn.
I mean, I'd probably be throwing orgies like Caligula.
Yeah. You see, you could get son of a bitch.
So you'd have
Lucky
to go
bastard.
to the beach or something if you want to buy a chateau.
Well, I could go to France, go to Scotland, go to Czech Republic. Crispin Glover from Back to the Future. But your buddy there, he has a chateau over in the Czech Republic. And
We're going back to the future.
hey, you.
Hi, Steve.
What toys would you buy?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Toys, fuck toys. I'd buy the real thing. I'd try to buy myself a life-size Optimus Prime or something like that.
I'd buy a room full of pinball machines. I love pinball.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, arcade games.
Yeah,
My pad would be a lot cooler than Ricky Schroeder's in Different Strokes. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Wasn't different-
My train would actually go somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that on Different Strokes?
that wasn't Different Strokes. That was Silver Spoons.
Silver Spoons. Yeah.
6 of 1.
Well, it was right after Different Strokes.
after.
But at the beginning of every show, they said this train pulled into the to their living room, and it never showed where that train came from or where the train went.
True.
That is true. His father was Edward Stratton Sr.
I'm glad, yeah.
I think maybe the train was just a big circle.
Okay, it was every kid that watched Silver Spoons wanted to live there.
Yeah.
Well, I
never watched it.
He had about 5 arcade games. Very good.
Okay, it had 5 arcade games, a really cool train, money, and Erin Gray.
Yeah, she was definitely the...
So,
Yeah, fresh from that. What was she on? Buck Rogers or something?
She was sweet.
Oh, yeah.
I remember one time when I was a kid, I read an interview with her. It was like the excerpt said what she does to keep in shape. She has a lot of sex. Wow. Imagine that.
well, she's Hawaiian.
Is she?
Yeah, she's born and bred in Hawaii.
Well, she looks it.
Da, da,
She's a
da, da,
stone cold
da.
fox.
We met her about 20 years ago, and she looked smoking, and she still looks smoking. I mean, she's very nice in person.
Old
too.
clips of Battle of the Network Stars, folks.
Right.
Her and Charlene Tilton.
Was that when they had on the bathing suits and you could
Yeah,
you
the
could see
dunk
through?
tank, yeah.
Yes.
And she was trying to distract Scott Baio.
Daisy Duke did that one as well.
Those are the days.
So did. See, all the women back on television back then were all foxes.
Oh, and they knew it too, and they weren't afraid of being foxes.
I mean, how many times on the Battle of the Network Stars did you see who was Wonder Woman?
Oh, Linda Carter.
Linda Carter walking around. I mean, you could
Smoke
see
show.
you could see everything. What's Victoria Principal walking around? Every one of them.
I used
back
to
in the
love
day.
watching those. And the pièce de resistance was they had Howard Cosell do
It
the
looks like the
play-by-play.
ABC team's going for it. They're beating the
Charlene
NBC.
Tilton and Scott Baio.
Charlene Tilton from Dallas Friday nights on CBS.
Did you ever hear the Sinatra album where he introduces Sinatra at Madison Square Garden?
I have not.
It is awesome. The whole crowd, all of a sudden, the orchestra kicks in, and Howard Cosell introduces Sinatra because they had the stage was set up like a boxing ring. He was in the middle, and so it was like he was like announcing a title fight. It's great. It just gives you chills because Howard Cosell, the best.
One of the legends of
I
television.
love when he did that meltdown. I have no more time. Damn it! You ever hear that?
No, but that's how I knew that John Lennon died.
That's true on Monday Night Football.
So I was.
But he throws a meltdown that's up there with Casey Kasem.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
we'll have to look that up on YouTube.
This is not a 2-hour television spectacular. This is radio. He's just yelling at these
Correct me if
guys.
I'm wrong, but wasn't Howard Cosell? And now for today's news. 3 little pigs just built a house of straw.
Is that him?
He might have. Is this from the electric company?
Howard Cosell was a sports broadcaster, Quincy.
Yeah, but he did the commercial on the...
You're probably right.
I think he is.
I know it. I know that version of
Well, you know what? You are Mr. 70, so you probably do remember
That's
that.
true.
Now, speaking of that, Quincy, what are you going to do? You got $100 million. What are you going to do with it?
buy a bike, some clothes.
Just a bike.
Helmet.
Well, some clothes,
Helmet.
a helmet,
Some milk.
some milk.
Keep the change.
Keep it. Well, I suppose the ones. Probably go out to eat somewhere for a steak sandwich and
It's a millionaire's diet right there.
right.
put the rest in the bank. But you always
Of
keep
course,
some.
you miser.
But put something in my pocket. But remind you, use this money very sparingly.
It's
'Cause
$100 million, Quince.
Well, very
Even if you-
careful.
even
Put
if
your
you-
money in a room.
Even if you spent $1 million, you're not going to spend a year. You're not going to make it. You're not going to live another 100 years.
Yeah. Spend it. Donate it. Donate it to
I don't know about donating it, but
Give it back to me. You owe me a couple half a million anyway.
give it to him.
Yeah, you can have the kids from the Shriners looking pretty good. Oh, wouldn't help out Caleb.
Yeah, you'd hire a hitman.
The Bane.
All right, so there you go. Quincy's being very modest with his cash over here.
Everyone put your money in a room, and every week we'll go over a different person's house and go in their money room and have a money fight.
Yeah, maybe you can organize
fight.
your own blanket, like Milk to the Rescue blanket.
as Louis the Palmer would say,
Remember
Oh,
Mr.
right.
Burns and Smithers having money fights? They're throwing money at each other.
Or like that scene in Breaking Bad when they was in the loading locker and they just lied on it.
Yeah, and she was spraying it for silverfish.
Doing that. That'd be awesome. I'd be doing that.
Hugh, he was quite a character.
Oh, him with his triangle head. What would I do with my $100 million?
As if you didn't have it already.
Well, all right. Well, another $100 million. All right. I would definitely do. I'm a big, huge movie fan and whatnot.
Okay.
I would actually recreate Biff's penthouse from Back to the Future 2, including the hot tub and everything inside there.
Here or out there in Vegas?
In Vegas, I have to do it right.
Okay.
I have to do it right. I would actually, go get a hotel and refurbish the entire penthouse just to look like Biff's Pleasure Paradise there. That's what I would do.
That's cool.
That's one of the things I would do.
Yeah. Now that you say that, I think I'd rent out Graceland for a week and live in it.
Really?
Yeah, just for a week. Just live in Elvis's house.
I would have my own chateau in Vegas for AVN and invite everybody over for a little vegan diet.
They still do that?
They still do that.
Chateaus are in. Hear that, Quincy?
Chateau.
Chateau, Alamo.
I don't know what else. It's a loaded question, you know.
It's just something. It's fun to think about.
It would be. It's fun to think about. It's fun to find out which makes an ocean wave.
Now they have this kind of money can sometimes be called as FU money,
F you.
where you get so much money you can tell certain people, hey. Do you have people?
I
on
do
your
that
list?
now when I don't have
Well,
enough
that's
money.
true.
So
I'm trying to think. I have maybe 5 people in my life that I would really let
Really?
have it. Yeah. Just really let it have it.
maybe I would actually do I would become the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase for
Exactly.
real.
There you go. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Like a real prick with money.
Virgil, give me the money there.
Let's see how far. Then I invite his kid over. Say, oh, if she can bounce the basketball 20 times, I'll give her $100.
Yeah, I would do that for real. I would really become the $1 million man. That'd be. I get those really cool suits that he had and whatnot.
I think I'd arrange it so the Kowloon could stay open too.
Just buy the cow loan.
Yeah, buy it and just
Actually,
tell everybody.
They make almost as much as that a year anyway.
That's true, and I think in a night for crying out
So
loud.
they
Last Friday
really
was
don't
packed.
care. I would build. We have a nice facility here that Restani, but I would upgrade Restani Productions so we could have, and I would fly in some major superstars.
Oh, sure, yeah, we'd have the budget.
To be on the program, say, listen, and just pick up the phone and go, you want to make a quick $100,000? Come on down.
Have Jimmy Buffett in here.
You can have anything you want. We can have anybody we want on the program now because
No. It's my own damn fault.
because just like Ted
Deep cuts
DiBiase
tonight.
said, everybody's
Everybody's
got a price.
That's true.
Speaking of people who have prices, I understand that you were telling me about a reptilian on a plane.
Well, yeah, this is like we were talking last week about doing some news stories.
I don't have a news button on here. I haven't hit any. Hold on, I haven't hit any sound effects here.
Now, everybody anyone who's anyone has seen this, I would imagine.
So basically, what is it?
Okay, I don't know the whole details, but a woman on a flight got scared and she left because, from what I understand, the person sitting next to her was a reptilian shapeshifter. So let me play. I got a little.
Let's
clip.
we'll play the clip there, Ricky.
This is just the audio from it. I hope this works now. Hold on, so bear with me.
What? I'm telling you,
Language.
get the fuck off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the fuck off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two fucks, but I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can fucking die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Bye.
I got the bye at the end.
Well, all right. There's been rumors that the Illuminati are reptilian people.
Well,
I mean, there was also that TV show in the 1980s called V. You remember that?
I do.
So would I be shocked if she was sitting next to somebody that was part of the Illuminati and is a reptilian shapeshifter? I would not. They all thought the royal family was.
There's some footage out there. You ever see the footage of Katy Perry having like a sort of a reptilian meltdown with her eye on stage?
Her cans definitely aren't reptilian.
No. And there's also footage one time I saw of Elvis backstage.
Really?
That looked a little weird, but that one I think was explained that the quality of the video was low, but there was something weird going on. Anyway, what I want to say about this is this woman is definitely scared shitless. I do want
To get
point
off a
that out.
flight.
Yeah, and you can hear her when she chokes almost. She is definitely in fear of her life. Now the plane obviously didn't crash, but she was definitely worried. about
Did
something.
anybody go up to the lizard?
Yeah, that's just it. It sort of just tapers off after that. But there is a quick shot I did see. The kid was, I don't know where it is now, but his complexion was like this white sheet of paper, and he had a hoodie on, and he was just sitting there like as if nothing else was going on, almost like you would expect a reptile to do.
Did he have a long tongue?
We never saw the tongue. But supposedly there's footage of him blinking, and instead of horizontal, his eyes blinked vertically.
Really?
Yeah. So that's out there, suppose. I have yet to find that.
Like
Scary.
a snake. I believe in there's reptilians out there. Of course there are.
Something scared this woman so bad, though.
She didn't sound like she was on drugs.
One other thing I want to point out, she's a friggin' dime. She's a smoke show.
Yeah, she did. I saw her. Her and Katy Perry had a lot in common.
I'm
Let's
telling
just
you.
put it that way.
She's very hot. But now they can't seem to get a hold of her now. She's like nowhere.
Vanished.
Just like that family that reported the 10-foot alien in its yard. I don't know if you heard about that recently. There was an alien spot, and they had footage that I couldn't see.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
And
yeah.
the family called the cops, and the cops came, and the cops were even a little spooked. And the cops were asking questions. That family, supposedly, nobody's heard from them.
Erased from existence.
Go, you tell me. I don't know.
They've gone back to the planet. Now, Quincy, if you saw an alien reptile in your backyard, what would you do?
Not panic. I'd go out and say, hey, what are you doing here?
Perfect answer.
What's the purpose of you coming here?
What if they don't speak English?
Oh, then,
If they're going to come here, they better learn the language.
yeah. If you don't speak English, why are you here? I have to know what you're saying. As long as you don't do any harm, then I suppose it's okay.
You haven't been to Dunkin' Donuts recently, have you?
No, I haven't. Why, is there an alien at Dunkin' Donuts?
Many.
Do they drink Dunkin' Donuts coffees and...
Like they could. I don't know. I really haven't noticed.
Blood.
Now, speaking of that, what are you drinking over there, Ricky Bittman? I see you
I
drinking.
am drinking a nice hot cup of coffee.
Really? A cup of coffee from where?
Cup of coffee from The Moon and the Sea Coffee Company.
The Moon and the Sea Coffee Company. Do you have any 411 on that?
I do. Let's put it this way. Everyday drinkers to coffee enthusiasts, there's a brew for everyone. The Moon and the Sea Coffee Company. The right coffee from daylight to twilight, shore to shore. Visit them online at themoonandtheseacoffee.com, a proud sponsor of Restani Productions.
Hold on, I'm going to take a little sip of this
Why don't
coffee.
you? It's
A little-
delicious.
Little sip of this coffee. I'm not a really big coffee drinker.
Oh, I am.
And I know they're a sponsor now. I'm not going to blow smoke up their ass. I'm
No.
just going to try it here. Hold on.
Go ahead. Do that ASMR. There you go.
Hey, that's pretty good there.
It is. And you know what I do?
What is
I
that?
brew it at night, and I leave it out on the counter, and in the morning, I put some ice cubes in a cup, and I have iced coffee.
And you can go to their website, which is themoonandtheseacoffee.com, a proud new sponsor of Restani Productions.
I think they should do a TC brew
You think a TC brew?
or a Briscoe brew.
I know all the beans are imported from South America.
Of course.
And they do all the roasting up here in the Boston area.
Nothing like you standing outside a coffee roaster.
See, that is one of my favorite smells in the world.
It
is
is.
coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm not a big coffee drinker. I know everybody here around the panel is, but I love the smell of coffee. It's just something about it. You know, just I'm gonna have to get used to this coffee. Maybe I'll find a roast or a brew, whatever you call it, that'll make my palate satisfied.
Give it a shot. I mean,
I'm gonna
try
give
an
it a
iced
shot.
coffee. I love iced coffee in the summertime.
Get plain, regular coffee.
No, I'm not getting plain regular coffee. Didn't you just hear the commercial here? We got a new sponsor on the program, Quincy.
This is not plain regular coffee.
This isn't Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts.
this is good
This is the
coffee.
Moon and the Sea Coffee Company, freshly roasted stuff right here in the New England area. The right coffee from daylight to twilight, shore to shore.
Yeah, but dude, they make plain, regular flavored.
You know what? I will send them an email. I will visit them on
do.
their website, which is themoonandtheseacoffee.com, and I will ask them.
If you like coffee, you'll love the Moon and the Sea coffee. That's the bottom line right there.
I know you're a huge coffee aficionado, Quince, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you a bag of this stuff, and we'll have Bittman brew it,
Yeah.
and you'll drink it.
plain, regular.
Yeah. Nothing
All
fancy.
right. If it does, then you know what? Then I'll drink some.
All right.
Because when I drink my coffees, especially for an important evening like this, plain, regular, I don't like flavored coffees.
I'm gonna take another. While you're talking, I'm going to take another sip.
So if they make plain, regular, you know what? Then we'll get some.
There you go. You can't go wrong. It's delicious. I love it.
And where do you go? Like, how far away is this coffee shop?
It is not a coffee shop. You can order it online, and they'll deliver it to you.
Did you want to look at that? Or?
It's okay.
No,
but
it's
you can pass
fine.
it back.
When you guys order the coffee, I'll try some too. I mean,
Just
I
a
don't know.
goer.
I don't know where I'd frickin' be without my Keurig machine.
Boy, I tell you, in the
I don't
morning,
think I don't think they have Keurig brands yet here at
I'm
the Moon and
just
the
letting
Sea.
you know, there was a event, and now I never have to brew coffee again. I just have to buy a bunch of K cups, and it's ready. I have
I would think of
the perfect cup of coffee every time. You know,
Yeah,
it's,
I would think
it's
that
a hell
comes
of
in-
a hell of an invention. The K.
I would think that comes in
Keurig.
K cups.
Probably does nowadays.
Well, you know,
they
and
call
I'm
them
sure
pods.
down the line they will make that. But
Yeah.
right now they come in little coffee bags with the beans, and you do it the old-fashioned way because that's where the flavor is.
Yeah, right. See, I grind my own.
Oh,
beans.
so if we get this, we got to buy an old school grinder.
You got it.
Which is okay.
We're gonna do that.
My sister Pidge gave me back in 1992 a coffee grinder. I still use it to this day.
Well, and you're the one with the grinder. We're gonna send the bag
Oh,
to
you
you.
grind the beans, and there's nothing like that smell. And you just put it in, and you pour the water, and it just.
Now, I know before we got this advertisement here, Abby, our executive producer, got a complimentary bag. And she said it was one of the greatest coffees she's ever had.
Really?
And she's a coffee drinker. She's, a producer, and she does a lot of acting on the side. She's up late at night.
Yeah.
So
You need your
she
coffee.
savors her coffee that in the mornings and whatnot. So once again, if you want to try out this coffee, new sponsor here on the After Hours of TC Restani, the podcast, visit themoonandtheseacoffee.com.
Sounds good. Now, sounds like a national coffee that's gonna.
It's going to take off. It's a small little company right now, but they're going to be huge.
So was Starbucks at one time.
Everybody
Dunkin'
started off
Donuts.
small, and they made it big, like you, Quincy.
Well, yeah, getting huge. Doesn't happen overnight. You gotta work.
Does not.
And the moon and the sea, it's all connected, you know.
Sure.
The tides. The next wave roast. That's the little tagline. The little next wave roast.
That's good.
We got it. You know what? I'm gonna call up the company and say, listen, we want to have a free bag, which I'm sure they will because they're sponsors of the program. And in a couple episodes, we're gonna have a multiple different flavors.
Why don't
We'll
we-
have
why don't
some
we
coffee talk.
Film them, yeah, exactly. And we'll film a commercial.
There you go.
Put that out on the interwebs.
Intergalactic webs.
Me, Jeff, and Quincy sampling the coffee.
That's right.
We'll even let you in it if you want.
I'll film it.
I know you'd say that.
I'll film it because, like I said, I'm not a big coffee fan. I'm being honest.
Well, we
here.
are, and I'm telling you right now, we should film.
You see, my opinion really wouldn't count because
I
I
get you.
don't have the experience with the coffee.
I get you.
You know,
It'd be like me
You
reviewing
never had
ice
coffee
cream.
at all.
I've had coffee before, but I'm not a big coffee fan.
Well,
This is going to change my mind. I
There you
guarantee
go.
it. Because it's not just regular coffee with a cream and sugar. This is different roasts from all over the place.
Yeah.
So we're going to try that. I know my sister is a big fan of the Moon and the Sea Coffee Company.
When I was a kid, there was a song, Coffee, coffee is not for me. It's a drink some people wake up with that and makes them nervous. Is no myth, slaves to a coffee cup. They can't give coffee up.
hey,
Thank you.
That was hold on. Why are you applauding there? We have our own applaud machine.
Oh, wait a minute. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Next, I will sing a song about tea.
Coffee make me nervous when I drink it.
That make me nervous.
Now, another thing you were talking about, Bittman. See, me and Bittman communicate before these programs because he sends me these weird things. We should talk about this. We should talk about that. What was this meatless burger? Something? Is this for,
Okay.
for vegans?
Burger King in Thailand is causing a stir with its new offering. It's a cheeseburger. Okay, cheeseburger.
I love cheeseburgers.
What's unusual about what's so unusual about a cheeseburger? Well, the burger with no meat and a jaw-dropping amount of American cheese. In Thailand, they are making a cheeseburger with 20 slices of American cheese. No burger. What do you think, Jeff? Would you eat that?
If you grill it properly.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Look at it, though. It doesn't look like it's. It doesn't even look like it's warmed up.
Oh, no, that doesn't look good. I mean, it looks very semi-melted.
Okay, let me see this here. All right, this
Cheese
looks.
sandwich.
All right, so you got
I mean, I'm a fan of a good grilled cheese sandwich. But,
you got the Burger King burgers, the sesame seed buns, and then 20 semi-sliced American cheese slices.
Yeah, no burger.
So how do you call that a burger?
It's a cheeseburger.
It's a
Get it? They're
but they're in Thailand. Wouldn't that be a different language?
saying, man, to each his own. What can I say? I did see a picture of a girl who took a bite out of it. It's just,
Right.
all you see is just this stack of bitten cheese.
Now what do you put? What would you put on a cheeseburger?
I don't know.
Ketchup and mustard?
Bacon?
oh, yeah, bacon, a few tomatoes.
You think I could have some beef on that cheeseburger?
I remember when I was a kid, there was a store in Southie called Ethel's and Andy's, and you could get a grilled cheese with bacon.
I
yeah.
love grilled cheese. You know what I love on my grilled cheese?
What?
Honey mustard and pickles.
Really? That's
Have
interesting.
you ever tried that?
I never have.
Just make a regular
Oh,
grill.
sounds pretty Reuben to me, though.
There you go. And then we're not talking about the Partridge Family either. So basically, you just take any type of bread that you like.
Yeah.
You know, American cheese, provolone, Swiss, whatever cheese, floats your boat.
Mm-hmm.
And you take pickle slices from like hamburger, slices,
Gotcha.
put it in there with a little spicy mustard, Goulden's mustard, or
sounds like it works.
Grey Poupon,
Mm-hmm.
and then you grill it up, and it has a nice little kick to it when you bite it.
There you go. I like dipping my grilled cheese in tomato soup, which is not unusual, but I like that.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
try the pickles and
I
mustard.
just might.
We'll have to come up with a name with that.
The TC.
The TC.
Hmm.
All right.
the TC burger.
The grilled TC.
There you go.
So I don't know what the Thai people are doing with this, but Thai food is actually very good.
I love pad Thai.
Why the hell are they bothering with this? I don't know.
Pad Thai is my favorite Thai
Pad
food.
Thai is good stuff.
Spicy basil pad
The
Thai.
peanut sauce and
Yeah, of
everything.
course.
Chicken satay.
Chicken satay.
Satay, and they have a good Thai beer. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It has a white elephant on it. Oh, it's exquisite.
Now we're getting hungry here on the
Yeah,
program.
yeah, I
down
am
here.
too, and I am.
We got coffee, grilled cheeses.
And I ate Tashlant's chili for dinner on a 90-degree
you
night.
were talking about that before we came on the program. she drove you down here in the Winnebago, and you
I
invited
let
me.
her take it to do some shopping.
And you invited me on there to see. She want a bowl of chili, and I said, "Well, I can't eat it because of my, restrictions." And it's 92 degrees outside.
It's 92 degrees. She made it with kidney beans and chickpeas. Which
Okay,
she
you
adds
can
to
eat
a chili,
those,
which
you
is
can eat
pretty
those.
good. I
Yeah.
like chickpeas, but she made it with ground beef. Usually we have it with turkey. It's much lighter.
Well, was it good? It sounded good.
It was delicious, but I mean, Jesus, it's 92 degrees. I'm sweating my ass
Well,
off.
when you come into the podcast penthouse, the air conditioning here is set
I
at
needed this tonight.
69, dude.
I needed- this was nice.
It's always set at 69 at the penthouse. 69! And the chili, I love chili. Chili's fantastic.
Chili's good stuff. I love it, especially in the wintertime.
Would you like Bush's chili?
Like what?
Bush's chili?
George Bush makes chili?
No, the brand of chili.
No, not that canned crap that you like. I'm talking about homemade chili.
Yeah, I've always wanted to try go to a chili cook-off where a bunch of people make their own chili and everything.
With your chili boots.
Soy is our number one.
Homer Simpson had chili boots.
Yeah,
I was going to say that.
hand-carved spoon. They say it was carved from a bigger spoon.
You just reminded
You
me
always
of
count on Jeff.
one of those episodes where Homer went in and
He poured the wax down his mouth. He was eating
Oh
the
yeah,
pepper.
he ate the Guatemalan insanity pepper.
And his he met his spirit or something, or his conscience, and it was voiced by Johnny Cash.
"Hey, this here is chili.
I'm a coyote, you know.
Rich Little of Johnny Cash over here.
This is chili.
Wow, that sounds just like him.
But
This is chili.
you can't have it too
Chili
spicy. If you have it too spicy, you'll never get it in your system. You can get heartburn
And burn your bunghole on the way out.
and burn your buns on the way out.
Now, this seems to be talking about this may be a food episode here. Now, Quincy, you like eating crap out of a can. You know,
It's plain good old chili.
but it's junk.
Why is canned goods junk?
Because it's junk. Have you ever had if you had a real bowl of chili that was made with the right spices and peppers and really good, meats and whatnot, you would pass that up for some Hormel chili.
Hormel's another good name in their canned chilies.
Okay,
He
I'm
knows
not
what he
sa-
likes.
I'm not saying that they're, the companies aren't successful. Yes, they are. But all right, now, did you ever have spaghetti as a kid?
Sure, yeah, when I was a kid.
All
yeah.
right. Did you like the regular spaghetti that your Italian mother cooked, or the one out of a can, Chef Boyardee?
SpaghettiOs.
Oh, I like my mother's spaghetti.
So there you
sure.
go. So
But there comes a time, though, when you're on the run, that
you're definitely going to have the runs when you have the canned chili.
no, it's a figure of speech on the run.
I'm with Quincy on this. Every now and then I will indulge in a canned delicacy.
All right, being all honest here, Mary
Believe me.
Kay's hash.
Oh, yeah, it's unquestionable. You
Those
have
are
to.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I love canned corned beef hash.
Yeah.
There you go. You put that in with like a fried egg and whatnot.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
That
breakfast
is
right
so
there.
good.
that is good. I will give you that.
I love corned beef hash out of a can.
Yeah.
You know,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong about that one, but not chili.
I think
I have to be honest. I never ate a can of canned chili. I've only eaten homemade chili. But I have eaten the spaghetti and meatballs out of a can. And I do eat Spam.
I know people that eat Spam right out of the can.
Yeah, you can. It's cooked. I love it.
You know what I used to like out of the can? I'm being a hypocrite here. I used to love the raviolis out of the can.
I have to say, within the last couple of years, I may have had
but
two cans.
they have to be cold though. I don't like heating them up.
I like heating.
Because like 3 a.m, you're watching TV.
Well, that's a different
And
story.
you have a hankering for who made it? Was that Franco American or Chef Boyardee? It was Chef Boyardee.
Yeah.
And you and you open up and you take the fork and just it's like dog food coming
Yep.
out. But god damn it, was that dog food good?
You know what else? Dinty Moore's beef stew.
those are
Oh,
good.
yeah, those are good.
Very
Yeah,
hearty.
yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I had the regular can. Then I graduated to the big can, like the little can
You
of
can put those in the
car
microwave
wax.
if it comes in the plastic container.
Yeah, see, I always get the big can with it. He had his thumbprint on it, the big red thumbprint.
Sure.
You peel that off. I like back in the old days when you have to do the can opener. But you dump that in. Just a little bit of salt in that, trust me.
Just a tad.
yeah, just a little.
Yeah, you could salt the roads in the winter for a month with the can of salt in that thing.
You could. Well, the thing about those, you put follow its directions. Put in the microwave for about 2.5 minutes, and
See, I
pull it
can't
out.
heat anything like that up in the mic. I got to do it on the saucepan.
Or you could put it in the saucepan on the grill on the stove. But either way, those are hearty beef. You know, Dinty Moore's beef stew.
I have to say, I have eaten those things, though.
We all have.
Yeah.
But I'm just
Even
saying.
like Swanson Hungry Man dinners too. The turkey one.
Oh my God! Now you obviously when you had the dessert, it'd burn your roof of your mouth.
Of course, yeah. The cranberry compote.
Yes, is that what that was?
Yeah, that's what they call it, cranberry compote.
There was never enough mashed potatoes in those.
No.
That was like a 2-spooner and you're done.
Even the Hungry Man one.
Yeah, the Hungry
extra large.
wasn't really that much bigger.
Hungry Jack, Hungry Man, they still around?
Hungry Man is still around.
Yeah, they're still there.
Swanson's TV dinners are still around. You know how that whole thing came about?
No.
Frozen TV dinners. Now, supposedly, I think Swanson was making turkeys for Thanksgiving. Somehow they had all this turkey left over at Thanksgiving, and they didn't know what to do with it. So they hired this woman. She was a biologist or a chemist or something like that. So the turkeys were in these frozen train cars. Mm-hmm. So while they tried to figure out what they're going to do with this meat, they had the train traveling from east to west. Train never stopped, just kept going, because I guess when the train was going, the refrigeration thing worked. This woman found a way to to cook the meat and freeze it. A woman was responsible for that. That's how the TV dinner was born. And then they got all the turkeys off the train and they cooked them. And then that's how they made the turkey dinner.
Unbelievable.
It's a story very close to that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I never liked the Salisbury steak one though.
Yeah, I never did that. I did the fried chicken and I did the turkey.
Yeah. Oh, don't you want one right now?
I could eat that right now. With the stuffing.
With a TV tray,
Yeah.
in your plaid recliner, with your rabbit ear TV, watching television around 6:00 at night.
Yep, everyone's out of the house. My mother's at bingo. My sisters are out on dates.
It's like a Saturday afternoon, and you're sitting there, and it's the winter time, and you don't want to go out inside because it's too damn cold.
I know a kid that liked those so much. This is a true story.
God, those are good.
His mother made a turkey dinner for them. He didn't feel like eating that turkey. She caught him heating up a Swanson's turkey dinner. She had the whole thing, homemade turkey stuffing, potatoes, everything, all done. And he didn't want that turkey. He wanted Swanson's, and he made it for himself.
Okay, well,
He said he's never seen his mother's home.
I mean, I side with the mother on that.
that was a bonehead
because
move,
Thanksgiving dinner is probably one of the greatest meals of all time.
Exactly, no question.
I mean, if it's like June 10th and you want to have a turkey dinner, get the Hungry Man. Yeah. But if it's Thanksgiving, the dog isn't even going to eat that.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
How do we always come back to food?
Because we're always hungry.
Yeah,
because we're growing boys.
We're hard-working men.
We're growing boys down here. Well, it's telling me right now we have to go to a big-time commercial break. And when we come back, we'll talk about who Jeff and I met this past weekend.
You scared me for a second. I thought you were stroking out.
Hi, I'm Captain Dave Marciano, and how would you like the freshest local New England seafood shipped to you overnight? No running around from store to find what you like. We have it here at AngelicaSeafoods.com. Everything from tuna, haddock, cod, clams, lobsters, scallops. We have it all. The finest seafood overnight to your door, anywhere in the continental U.S. AngelicaSeafoods.com.
All right, welcome back from that big-time commercial break. For all your seafood needs, go to AngelicaSeafoods.com. Our good friend, Captain Dave Marciano, and his crew are bringing fresh seafood from Gloucester to your family around the country. Now, going from tuna and food to entertainment. This past weekend, South Boston Jeff, of course, the greatest celebrity stalker of all time, and I made our way to Lynn, Massachusetts to meet one of the true icons of entertainment. There's not many people left from that era, and this guy now holds the championship. We can be talking about none other than Mr. Dankeschön himself, Wayne Newton.
Dankeschön. Oh, Dankeschön. Thank you for the joy and pain.
Thank you
You brought me down Lover's Lane.
Of course, that song made re-famous by Ferris Bueller in
Big time.
1986.
Yep.
Now, before we get into the confrontation we had, the meeting with Mr. Wayne Newton, I have to bring this up, Ricky Pittman. All right. Now, I don't know the full story. I've just heard little tidbits from Galen, your producer, on the jukebox.
Yeah, that's why I didn't join you guys, and I wish I did because I haven't seen Wayne since New Year's Eve.
This past New Year's Eve?
Yeah, Galen and I were out. We visited Pahrump. Tosh came with us. Galen brought his girlfriend at the time. What was her name? Beatrice Chicken Fat came with us.
Beatrice Chicken Fat.
Beatrice Chicken Fat, and
Is that something you can find in a can for Quincy?
well, they're not together anymore, so I can say a lot about them. But so when you get to it's at the Flamingo. in Vegas. Okay, so we drove out to the Flamingo. You have to take an elevator up, and you have to surrender this. You cannot bring the cell phone.
Your cell phone.
Yeah,
You cannot
no
have it.
pictures at all. No
Can't
pictures.
bootleg anything in there.
But the whole place is decorated, beautiful. This is my buddy Wayne, and Galen knows how much of a Marx Brothers fan I am. And they had these Marx Brothers statuettes. So Galen took 2 of them and put them in his bag. And as he was taking the 3rd one, we got pinched.
The eye in the sky.
Yeah. Security came out of this door, which didn't even know it was a door. It was like just a wall opened, and we got brought in front of Wayne, and Wayne was like, Bittman, you stealing from... And I said, listen, man, and I tried to explain. He didn't want to hear any of it. So I tried to apologize. I've extended the olive branch a few times. I haven't heard anything back. So I'm glad you guys didn't mention my name out there, because you probably wouldn't have got any autographs. You probably wouldn't have got anything.
You've been married too long. You should put all the heat on Miss Chicken Fat.
I should have, but I just wasn't thinking. I mean, we got caught red-handed.
I understand.
And I just figured the best thing to do would be honest. We definitely had a lot to drink. We were at Batista's Hole in the Wall prior.
Right.
Lubing up, which is right behind the Flamingo. Carafes of wine, plates of spaghetti, all that stuff. Great stuff.
See, I've been to the Flamingo in a long time. I've been to Vegas in quite a while. When I usually go out there, I'm staying at Mandalay.
Yeah.
And all that other fun stuff.
Flamingo's
out there.
old school.
It is old school.
That's where he likes to hang, and I was so embarrassed.
This was a private event, though. This was, This wasn't. This was not open to the public.
This is a Wonka golden ticket event.
Really,
type thing,
and you're stealing from Wayne Newton.
Yeah.
Now, is he a big Marx Brother fan?
Well, that's just it. We thought those statuettes were part of the hotel's decor.
Right.
Whereas the worst that would have happened was Mr. Newton, someone of your guests stole these statuettes. They're valued at $75 a piece. Boom, paid for, done. But apparently, for some reason, he had some of his own stuff from his own archives or his own treasure chest.
Really? Like what? What was there?
Oh, all we saw was that, but he had beautiful collection of samurai swords, Jeff. He had
Really?
Yeah, he had the whole.
I understand he had Elvis's gi.
He did. He had Elvis's gi, and he had Robert Goulet on a dartboard. His face, because neither he or Elvis liked Robert Goulet very much.
We got Johnny Carson.
Yeah, geez, you know what? Well, maybe if we got inside, he would have had Carson in effigy, like a Carson pinata for people to hit.
See, that's why if we ever invited him down for the TV broadcast, I'd have to get rid of the rainbow curtain.
Oh, just make him stand in front of him. He'd probably love it.
He probably, hey, you know what? You're better than Johnny.
So
You're here, TC.
So listen,
JC's gone.
I don't want to take away from your experience, because I'm envious. It would have been great to see him, but I don't think he's ready.
I'm kind of envious. You got invited to a New Year's Eve party.
Well, we go way back, Wayne.
I understand it, because you've been out in Pahrump and out in Vegas in that area for
Since I
a
started the
long
jukebox.
time.
Since I started the jukebox, this was the 3rd time. This would have been my 3rd time going to it since I started the jukebox, and I've only been twice now because I didn't get beyond the elevator.
Did he make pasta like he did in Vegas Vacation?
I don't know.
Okay, well, getting back to our adventure with the Mr. He is Mr. Vegas.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Mr. Entertainment.
Once Sinatra died, he became Mr. Vegas.
Yeah.
But like I said, Jeff and I made our way to the fabulous Lynn Auditorium in beautiful Lowntown, Lynn, Massachusetts. What's the saying about Lynn?
Lynn, the city of sin. You can't go out the way you came in.
You'll never come out the way you came in.
That's 100% true.
Yeah.
A million years ago, I got my start in Lynn. I don't want to talk about that, but I'm very. I have a kind of a soft spot for Lynn in my in my entertainment blood.
Okay.
So this was kind of cool when I saw a giant billboard on the expressway, and it said Wayne Newton coming to the Lynn Auditorium on July 9th. So I called Jeff. I said, Jeff, we have to go. The guy's a legend. So
You should have went to the show, though.
we should have went to the show, but we didn't. So I'm going to let Jeff tell the story, because he is the expert celebrity stalker.
Well, okay. When we got there, there were probably two or three fans, and as we waited about an hour or so, the fans grew to about 15 people out there, all waiting for Wayne. So when Wayne's limo pulled up, it wasn't a limo; it was a nice black Caravan. It pulled up, and it turned around, and the chauffeur and everything must have seen that must have seen that there were a few too many people, by the back door. So it went discreetly went around the building, and we went behind the fence, going to the smaller door where he was going in to have his rehearsal, and. About 5 or 6 people. The crowd of fans was cut down to about 5 or 6 people. So I was the first one at the door. The security guys were like, "Yeah, you guys are unbelievable," and we're like, "Hey, he wouldn't be anybody if it wasn't for the fans." But I just slid right next to the door. I was face, and out of these all these people, I wound up right in front of him, and I asked him. I looked him right in the eyes. Would you mind taking a picture real quick? And he was like, "Sure." And he took the picture, and I was the only one that got it.
It's a great picture.
And as you can see on the screen right now, there is the picture, and it's in vintage black and white because he is always in my eyes. He's black and white.
No,
he's
you can't
Vegas
go
from
wrong
the
with black and
60s.
white. You can't
He's monochrome magic, in my opinion.
I think it makes it even more beautiful.
And I've seen Wayne from afar before. I've never actually been up close and personal with Wayne, and he was a true gentleman.
Yeah.
He really was.
A true
he
gentleman.
Really was. He would if his wife didn't call the shots, didn't have a short leash on him, he would have stayed there and signed for everybody.
Yeah.
But she was but no flies on her because she was nice enough to go around to all the fans and take all the pictures and record albums backstage to him, and he signed them, and she brought it back out to them.
That's cool.
So everybody ended up with an autograph, but I was the only one there that wound up with such a cool picture.
So hats off to Mr. Vegas, Wayne Newton. I know you got a little beef with him there, Bittman, but
No. I screwed up.
but to the fans, he's aces.
He is one of the nicest people in entertainment.
Because he
to this
understands, like what Jeff was talking about, without the fans, you're nothing.
day. Yeah, he's one of the few people that
You're
understands.
nothing. And he's from the old school.
Oh, look back in the old history, the old Jerry Lewis telethons. He always closed out the show. Wayne was always the last performer, and he always just killed the crowd. You know, all the numbers would go up when Wayne was on the show.
So it's a score. The man is 81 years old. We don't know how many more years Wayne has on the planet. Hopefully another 20 years. But
Well, he's lived a clean life.
You know, we can say that we have met one of the true legends in the industry.
Yeah.
And hopefully now that we've given all these praise, I'm going to get an invite to
Yeah.
one of his New Year's Eve parties. Now, the reason I probably won't because I'm no longer a resident of Nevada.
Well, that doesn't matter. Don't worry about that.
But he knows who you are, though. I mean,
Well,
you
we
get
have
a few-
history. We
you-
have history.
You have a few years on me. But remember, did he play the damn napkin at all?
I don't think he
Did
did.
he visit?
No, I used to go to Batista's Hole in the Wall after the damn napkin,
Right.
and he would always be there. He'd finish up at the Flamingo, and he'd go right around the corner, right into the door, and sit down.
Because, all right, for
Sometimes
those
he'd
who
sit at the bar all by himself.
For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, the Damp Napkin was a vintage little nightclub that my uncle owned back in the 70s and the early 80s. And the people who were on their way down from the mountain started performing there. Or you got your start there and you rose to the top of the mountain. And that's where mine and Ricky Bittman and Bo Montana's paths crossed, of all things. And I was too young to go into the main room, so I used to see it on the security camera footage.
No,
So-
I don't think he ever did.
I don't. Maybe I don't know. I have
One night in Batista's, he was sitting at the bar with Phyllis Diller,
really.
and she was chain smoking, and her ash kept dropping into her food, and she was eating the ash.
Oh,
Oofa!
not
Wayne gave me the eye. Like he goes like,
not even with 1,000 bottles of vodka would I hit on Phyllis Dillon.
very funny woman though.
Tremendous comedian.
Paved the way for female comedians.
Wasn't she Joan Rivers' hero?
Yeah.
I mean, because you can see a lot of Phyllis in Joan.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. I read her biography. God, it was so long ago. But she never really got the respect I think that she deserved.
She always reminded me in a way of Martha Ray. They were kind of like growing up. I always thought Martha Ray and her were the same person.
And Mark Harris.
I remember she was constantly on the Muppet Show.
Yeah, she looked like a Muppet.
Well, that's probably why.
She wasn't related to Barry Diller, the president of the USA Network, was she?
think so.
Okay, because that would.
Do you remember what her husband's name was?
No.
She used to always talk about her husband, Fang. That was his name.
Fang?
Fang. My husband, Fang. And she had the long cigarette holder. She used to like walk around in those little short frilly dresses, but she was a funny woman.
So getting back to Wayne's little shindig there, can you drop any other names that were roaming around?
Well, back in the day, Buddy Hackett used to come, and he'd bring his two boys, his twin boys, that would always get into a terrible fight.
You do realize one of his sons was in one of the worst movies in history, Hamburger the Motion Picture?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
That's Buddy's son.
Yeah, well, but they would always get into a huge fight. You know how brothers fight, Jeff?
Yeah,
they would throw haymakers, let me tell you. David Soul would always get invited to that thing.
Don't give up on us,
Exactly. My Ricardo Montalban would always come there. He was very good at sleight of hand.
Really?
Yeah, Ricardo Montalban.
I'm sorry I never got a chance to
right
meet
off your shirt.
Really?
How about like Nipsey Russell?
Oh yeah, Nipsey would go there. Nipsey had this thing. He would tell dirty jokes on a pogo stick.
Did he rhyme the jokes?
Oh yeah, they were all rhyme.
You speaking of writing books, you should write a book about all these incidents here.
Yeah,
that's the problem with me being too young. I couldn't have gone to that.
Yeah,
I mean,
you missed out.
I would have been like the new Corey Feldman of Vegas if I went to that.
And what used to happen late at night?
Tell us.
Yeah, you remember the chick that played the cruise director on Love Boat?
Lauren Tweez?
Yeah, she worked a glory hole in the cloakroom.
Well, she was always stoned on coke anyway.
Well, you know what? I used to I'd go in there, right, and I threw a marathon bar in there. She'd just go to town on it, which a lot of people seem to think is why she gained so much weight.
You know what? You're probably not wrong. So this is
Oh no, I'm just thinking of a marathon bar. Ooh, I used to love those
do they
things.
even still have marathon bars?
Yeah, you can still buy them. They're not called marathon bars, but you can still buy those. I think you can get them on Amazon.
Ask Lauren Tweez.
Yeah.
The thing you got about
I can't believe I divulged that.
You got to watch how far that caramel.
Does it really matter? Like, is Lauren Tweez going to sue you?
No, I hope not. I mean,
What is she going to get?
Maybe it wasn't her. Allegedly.
Is she going to get a bag of the moon and the sea coffee? I mean, come on.
Yeah, let's send to that.
So, I mean, we got a few more minutes here. Give me some other more names. I mean,
oh my God,
I'm like living vicariously through you
get
now.
It. Gene Rayburn would come.
Did he have the microphone with him?
He would walk around with that microphone, and he'd go up to women and he'd go, "Hey, take a sniff of that." And I don't know what.
You don't know where he put it?
Women would always be like, "What the hell is this guy's
It
problem?"
smells like blank.
What was the woman that was the maid on Different Strokes?
Which one? There was three of them.
The first one.
Charlotte Ray?
Charlotte Ray would go there. She would tell some dirty stories.
Mrs. Garrett?
Yeah, filthy mouth on her and all that.
She was telling everybody about the facts of life?
Oh, big time. She was. It wasn't
You didn't
the
like
bird.
Garrett?
She wasn't talking about the birds and the bees. She was talking about the boys and the girls. But,
Really?
Oh yeah. Very, very. She worked blue, as they would say, Quincy, back in the day.
Who was the biggest drunk you ever been around?
Oh my God. I would say, surprisingly, the biggest drunk had to have been Jerry Falwell.
The preacher?
He came to this thing, yeah. He used to throw back kamikazes like they were on sale. I mean, just down them.
He had a little too much Jesus juice?
And at the end of the night, he'd say the same thing. He'd go, "Watch, I'm going to pour this one down my eye." And he'd pour the drink in his eye, and then he'd start screaming, and we'd have to take him out. And it was just
Maybe that's where they got the gag in Airplane.
Yeah, probably. He said, "I
Jerry
drink him."
Farwell.
Yeah.
The only thing I know about him, I was watching that movie last year.
He fell well, too.
The movie about Tammy Faye Baker.
Oh, yeah, God bless him.
And they corresponded with him, Jerry Farwell, in that.
He was also the People versus Larry Flint.
Yep.
Yeah, and they call him Jerry Farwell. Yeah.
And Woody Harrelson would come, too, and get everybody high.
With his hemp.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
He must have been young back then.
Yeah. But it was around Cheers, in the 80s.
So that's like 83, 84.
Yeah, I only went to 3 of them, but 3 since the jukebox started. But I went, way back.
You had a standing invitation?
Well, yeah. He had people that he liked, and I'd get up and I'd do my routine, and
You ever been heckled by a celebrity?
Oh, of course, geez, who the hell used to always have an in for me? That Bob Costas. He had a hair across his...
the NBC News guy?
Yeah, he used to call me Shipman, Ricky Shipman. And I didn't care.
That guy must have made a deal. He must be reptilian because he looks exactly the same as he did 40 years ago.
Yeah. And I'd have to just, grin and bear it, so...
Was he out there doing a little golf tournament or something?
He always have that blazer on,
I always wanted one of those because,
with the ABC logo on.
I wanted the ABC team there. Yeah. We should get blazers down here to say Restani Productions that look like the vintage 70s blazers. I would love them. The ones like Vince McMahon used to wear back in like 1981.
I just thought when you said 1981, the best night ever at the Wayne, the New Year's Eve gathering was Evel Knievel was there one year.
Really?
Beat the living hell out of Jimmy Walker from Good Times.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really? You didn't have a good time then, huh?
That was
Why?
something to see.
They just had a disagreement. He picked him up by his 2 feet and swung him around, let him go, and just.
Well, back then, Jimmy Walker was
he
was a stick.
thin as a rake.
Right.
But he held him by his feet and just kept spinning.
You don't
around.
mess with Evel
They just
Knievel.
let him go.
I mean, the guy jumps casinos. Yeah, you know, I mean, come on, think about it.
Well, how long
Vegas used to belong to Evel Knievel.
He used to jump casinos, Grand Canyons, buses. You think he's going to bat an eyelash to Jimmy Walker?
No, they had it out.
Wow, no, you witnessed this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, did it go long, the fisticuffs?
Oh no, not at all. Once he let him go, he just went flying across.
And he went off and bothered
All
somebody
you heard
else.
was
huh?
like, ah!
how long ago was this?
Oh, that was in the 70s.
That's got to be like 1976 or
Yeah,
something.
76, 79. You know, it gets blurry.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's now, you know, we're a late night talk show here,
Yeah.
right? Can you give us a little any carnal knowledge of any little flings with some celebs out there?
Me personally, I don't kiss and tell, but you know, there was some actresses that were much more friendlier than others.
But you're not the kind to kiss and tell. But you've been seen with Farrah.
There you go, right there. Farrah used to show up, but she'd cry all night.
Really?
Yeah, she
God
was
rest her soul.
crying. But you know who was a lot of fun?
No.
Was Cheryl Ladd.
Really?
Yeah, she was a very friendly girl.
Friendly as in like, you know, girl next door friendly?
Two ambidextrous. Two.
Oh. Churning that butter,
Yeah,
huh?
two guys at once.
One of them wasn't Jimmy Walker, was
No,
it?
one was Jack Nicholson once, and he said, "It's the worst hand job I ever got in my life."
Well, you're talking about a guy who's probably had the very great, you know.
Oh, that's what
mean,
he said.
he was
And you know what
a-
he did? He grabbed it by the pinky and he dislocated. He pulled it right out of the socket.
Really?
Ow!
Was that why she left Charlie's Angels?
Probably. It was right around that time, I think.
Come, give us some more. I need to hear this.
Well,
You know, I
mean,
got to live vicariously through because I've only hung around with porn stars.
But Wayne used to just bring in a lot of TV and comedian people. Not a lot of music acts.
Right.
Andy Kaufman was there one year. He came in. He had a suitcase and everything. He came in. He literally walked in, took one look around the room, and walked right out the door. We never saw him again.
Probably safe.
Yeah, I think so.
Safer for him, you know.
And you know who else would come in is that Mary Lou Henner. She was a dime.
I wanted
back
to
then,
dial her nipples.
Yeah. Remember the dance she did on the table?
A taxi.
From the Lullaby of Broadway.
Yeah.
Come on along.
She would reenact that and everything. When she did a sexy dance, and she would do that for everybody. And who was it? One year.
Man.
And when right after her 18th birthday, they brought in a big cake, and Christy McNichol jumped out of it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And Wayne goes, "All right, fine." He goes, "No. I think they just misread his handwriting. I think it was supposed to be what is it? Diana Canova, the brunette from
Soap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be her. She was supposed to jump out of the cake.
But they got Christy McNichol.
I think they switched at the last minute. Yeah.
that's
It must have been like after she dyed her hair blonde around the time she did
Yeah.
the pirate movie and
Yep.
everything. She was kind of looking
I mean, Christy McNichol.
plausible.
Christy McNichol was a very nice girl.
Yeah.
But it would take about 10,000 Viagras for me to have to do anything with
Yeah.
her.
Burgess Meredith go, "What's the cake so big for? She could have jumped out of a cupcake, for Christ's sake."
So there you go. Well, this has been an unbelievable episode.
Yeah, I don't tell a lot of those stories, you
Well,
know.
you do. You have a lot. You seem to have a lot of them.
Hey, well, you know, every now and then, hit me up, see if my brain's working. It was working good tonight.
Sure, it's always working good.
Thank you, Quincy.
All right. Here's one last question. All right.
Yeah.
The most famous person that ever used your bathroom out in Vegas.
That's easy. Henry Kissinger.
Henry.
Yep.
Wow. How did this happen?
He just was taken short.
Really?
Yeah, he knew. You know what? I had the stereo. It was because he came. I was when you say use my bathroom, it wasn't the Winnie Bagel. It wasn't when I was in Pahrump. I was at a hotel. It was probably the Flamingo, and I was playing some music. I was playing Van Halen.
Jump.
No. This is like Running with the Devil days. This is before they went synthesizer, and on the door, and I'm like, what the hell? And I looked through the keyhole, and I'm like, seriously? And I opened the door, and he goes, I heard Van Halen music. I figured you're a nice person. Can I use your bathroom?
No, I understand that. He came to this country and he was a boy.
Yeah.
That whole German accent's a front.
He used it that night. I'm
Really?
just telling you.
He was
And
kayfabing you.
I said to him, I said, Mr. Kissinger, number 1 or number 2? And he goes, number 4. And I was like, oh, jeez. So I just let him go in. He was in there for a good 25 minutes.
Did he bring up the praying with Nixon?
No, he didn't really talk much. He just kept lighting matches, which I thought was kind of a nice gesture.
At least he was polite.
Yeah, he left a little paint in the bowl though when he left, so which I always found very skeevy.
A little paint?
Well, I always say that, like when I flush the toilet, you'd never know anyone was in there. Some people just can't go without leaving streaks.
Little Hershey Squirts, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he left it, and I'm like, what the little paint in the bowl?
Now if that happened now, you could save it and sell it on eBay.
Yeah, that's true. And I was like, a little something for the trouble, Henry. And he was by himself. That was the weird thing. He wasn't drunk or anything. He came out, and the only thing he said, he rubbed his stomach, and he goes, bacon. And that's all he said.
Wow. You know what? This has been. I think I'm gonna have to do a one-on-one with you, Ricky Bigman.
Well, he did tear a couple pictures out of my National Enquirer, which I never knew what the pictures were. But
who was it? What celebrity do you think it was?
I didn't get a chance to read it.
What year was this?
Oh, probably maybe 79, 80.
Bo Derek, easily.
Something like that. Yeah. This is a 10.
Well, on that note,
most famous, not most interesting, but most famous.
Oh, well, the most interesting one we'll save for a future episode. Once again, we're going to thank our sponsor, the Moon and the Sea Coffee Company. You can visit them online at themoonandtheseacoffee.com. Everyday drinkers to coffee enthusiasts, there's a brew for everyone. The Moon and the Sea Coffee, the right coffee from daylight to twilight, shore to shore, a proud sponsor of Restani Productions.
Thank you for watching. Drive home carefully. And remember, we never close. Very good, Nate.